Gentlemen, I was wrong about Donald Trump and was wrong about Elon Musk. Yes, I was wrong about Donald Trump and I was wrong about Elon Musk. What are we talking about? Well, Donald Trump just got removed from the ballot. Donald Trump has been removed from the ballot. This is breaking news that just came out right now. And I previously kind of scoffed at this idea. I said, these ridiculous people trying to get Trump off the ballot. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. Well, apparently Trump was just removed from the ballot in Colorado by the Colorado State Supreme Court. Obviously, Trump's gonna appeal the decision, so we'll see what comes of the appeal. But what comes of the appeal is irrelevant. I was completely dismissive of this idea that people were going to get him pulled from the ballot. And the reasoning that I had given back then was just how corrupt the country is. You know what I mean? The idea of an elite like Donald Trump, getting pulled off the ballot, like, that's not how it goes, man. It's like if you want to shut down Donald Trump, it's got to be all out war. You know, it's not going to be as simple as he did an insurrection, so he can't be on the ballot. Like, that's not how it works, man. I just didn't see that happening. It just seemed too easy. But whatever. Things have been really corrupt and really bad, around a lot of different things in this country lately. So excuse my pessimism, but I guess I was too pessimistic on this one. Well, usually my pessimism is accurate, but I will accept being wrong on this one. Now let's give the full context here. This is just California. This is just Colorado. Um, so it only affects Colorado, but obviously in a presidential race, I mean, not being on a ballot in any state is not a good thing. I mean, you're fighting to win as many states as possible. I mean, it's not about how many states, right? But I mean, you want to win, you know, everywhere as much as you can, right? Whether it's from the electoral college or the swing states or just in general. I mean, you just want to win, 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 win. So the idea of having a state be completely off the map is not good, and you got to look at contagion, which is a thing. So I may have been very pessimistic about the realities of this happening, but now that it actually has, that in itself makes this now something to be taken seriously. I was wrong to not take it seriously, and beyond that, again, the fact that it was he was removed one state, because this has set the precedent, right? So now we have this precedent set of this actually happening successfully. So now in this world, see, in a world where this wasn't a thing, right? We don't just remove people from the ballot. I mean, we also don't have presidents that do what Trump did on January 6th, and it was well beyond January 6th. I mean, that process that led us there took a while for sure, but that doesn't normally happen. So therefore, we don't normally have a situation where we need to pull somebody from the ballot. So it was unheard of thing, but that is no longer the case. It's a heard of thing. It's a thing that happened. So therefore, in this new world that has been created from this event, um, this kind of stuff has to be taken seriously, right? Because even where you have the same forces that I was concerned about that would be like, we can't do this, and no, we're not going to move from the ballot. Even with those forces being a thing, those same forces are going to be affected by what Colorado is doing, because when they're thinking about, should we, shouldn't we, part of the equation is going to be, well, Colorado did it, right? So in a state where maybe it's kind of like marginal, where like maybe not. This is a little bit more energy towards like maybe we should remove him from the ballot. So, needless to say, at a minimum, at a minimum, the probability of him being removed from another ballot in another state has gone up by a not insignificant degree, right? So prior to this, the chances of it were at a certain level. Now, after this, it's definitely at a higher level, and the increment is not insignificant. So I wouldn't say it's a big, uh, you know, the chances of him being removed from another ballot. I don't think it's a big chance now, but just because of this one thing, but it's certainly at a level that's above insignificant, shall we say. So I was wrong. They did it. We'll see if it holds, but it happened. So I'll accept that. I was also wrong about Elon Musk. Uh, and I'm not one of those. What would it be? Trump derangement syndrome, TDS. So it'd be EDS. Not one of those EDS guys like Vosh. Vosh is just totally like, I hate Elon Musk, or at least my subscribers hate Elon Musk, so anything he does has to suck. Like, for example, I saw them showing a video of the crash testing of the Cybertruck, and I'm sitting there looking at the videos, and I'm like, what was that? Was that Sesame Street, that song? Which one of these things is not like the other? Da, 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 da. Or was that at your company? I don't know. Or 3-2-1 contract. Show my age. Um, so I'm looking at, they show a whole bunch of different trucks, a Ford truck, a this brand truck, this whatever, and a Cybertruck. I'm like, well, the Cybertruck, the truck itself obviously is very drastically different from the other trucks, but it's more than just a truck. Something about the test, something about the room where the test is being taken, something about the way the vehicles are running into this object, something about the object itself. I noticed all the other trucks, like a quarter of the top of the a quarter the top quarter of the front of the truck is like continuing to go beyond the object, and then the rest of it is crumpling. But you look at a Cybertruck, and nothing is going beyond the object. It's all crumpling. It's all like responding rather to this object. What is that about? How is it these other trucks are able to go over the? Oh, so the other trucks had a shorter wall. Hmm. Logically, that must have some level of impact in terms of this crush test. So obviously, it was a different type of crash test that was being done. And Vosh, because of his EDS, he just looks at it, he's like, oh, Elon Musk is such a dummy. Oh my goodness, look at this truck, it's dangerous. Look at the head being snapped and this and that. And what a moron. Elon Musk doesn't know anything about crashing. Da, da, da. And I'm like, does Vosh think that Elon Musk designed this truck? Like, he of all people should know. You shouldn't be thinking that. Because, I mean, if you hate Elon Musk, then you should definitely be all over like, he doesn't build his stuff, he takes it from other people. He wasn't the founder of Tesla. Somebody else founded Tesla and then he just inserted his name. And I'd be like, yeah, that's right. But if you recognize that, then why would you all of a sudden now flip it to he's designing the trucks? Like, either Elon Musk is like this idiot billionaire, like everybody thinks billionaires are smart, like that's the talking point, right? Billionaires are smart, but Elon Musk is dumb. He's so dumb. So if he's so dumb, right? And all he's doing is taking credit for other people's work, right? He didn't found Tesla. Then why the Cybertruck comes out and all of a sudden people are acting as if he's the one designing stuff? So before you knock him because he doesn't design stuff, he just steals from other people. Now all of a sudden you're acting like he did it. I mean, I guess in fairness, if I'm to steel man the theoretical argument, there's a difference between him stealing Tesla versus the Cybertruck being something that came after, he's the, he's the Tesla guy, right? So the initial thing is somebody else designed this car, and then Elon Musk steps in and puts his name all over it, and he takes over. But Cybertruck is a creation that came after that. So in theory, it's kind of like, okay, the car he stole, but the truck it's his. And of course, because the truck looks weird, and there's some weird details about it, the bulletproof glass and how it wasn't so bulletproof for the guy that smashed the, like, all this kind of weird stuff. So it's kind of like, this has Elon Musk's name written all over it. So I guess on that tangent is where you get to the point of like, so Elon Musk is the one who designed this truck and he doesn't know anything about crumple zones. I think the people who designed that truck and figured all that stuff out are the engineers that Elon hired, not Elon himself. Now, he definitely was part of the process for sure, in terms of setting like the goals. The truck must be bulletproof. It's got to be a weird shape. I want it to be stainless steel. I'm sure he said a lot of stuff like that, but the idea that Elon Musk would be the one to design the safety and crash worthiness of, I mean, that is absurd. That is absolutely absurd. I think, to think that he would have been the one to design that. Um, I'm pretty sure the engineers that he hired who are trained this kind of stuff, they're the ones who would have done it. And the debate would have been them doing stuff for safety, and then Elon Musk saying, "But that looks ugly." But then they're gonna push back, right? And I know there's a lot of talk about how aggressive he is as a manager, but I just don't see those engineers building a truck that's gonna get the company sued, and there's not a major backlash and people resigning and stuff like that. I mean, this is a major safety thing, man. I don't see those guys, those engineers, sitting there and be like, "All right, Elon, we're gonna design a truck with no crumple zones." I just don't see it. But anyway, what was I wrong about? What was I wrong about? Number two, I was wrong about Cybertruck in terms of it really being a thing. I looked at it as this ridiculous design. I looked at it as a coffin because I'm like, bulletproof glass and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, if you crash, how are people gonna get you out? And then it's a weird shape. It just looks dangerous. Like the pointy front of it and the stainless steel. And I just thought this was Elon Musk doing what he does with this hyping up stuff. And I had said that I believe that, and it was delayed. It was like, it's gonna be 40 grand. I'm like, no, it's gonna be 40 grand. I was right about that one. No, it's gonna be 40 grand. And with all these issues with the weird shape and whatnot, I'm like, he's gonna change it up at the last minute, and then it's gonna look like a regular truck. It'll be a hybrid truck, or electric truck, but it'll be looking more like a regular truck. The triangle design goes away completely or mostly. So that was what my theory was. I just thought this is not happening, man. This is nuts. And I guess maybe a little bit of hypocrisy there because not necessarily in terms of like I'm critiquing people for acting as if Elon is the one designing the stuff, and then I thought that he was going to design some ridiculous thing, and but the thing about it is, like I mentioned before, Elon Musk will definitely push back on the engineers and have these ridiculous ideas, and they'll try to meet those ideas, and push back on them perhaps, but ultimately I just don't see a truck being produced and sold that's has like a major flaw. I mean, flaws for sure, but not something major like crash safety. I mean, a super fast truck that weighs so much, has that kind of acceleration, that kind of torque. and then they just totally defy. And also, how are you gonna get it approved? That's the other thing. Like, you can't just like build a truck that's not gonna pass. And what are we looking at? The safety testing, right? The video we were looking at is like safety testing. So I just don't see that they would do that. I could see Elon Musk trying to like have them do something ridiculous, but then it just wouldn't come to it just wouldn't, like, at some point in time it would be like, look, Elon, this cannot work. Like, we're gonna fail the thing or whatever. Like, we tried. We told you this was a bad idea. They wouldn't talk to him so aggressively. We told you it's a bad idea, and you insisted, and we did our best. But this cannot be, like, we're not gonna get certified. So then there's like a back and forth, and then Elon's like, okay, what do we have to do to solve it? And then the solution is basically a regular truck. That's how I thought, right? Elon's not the one designing it, but he would mess with the design process, have some ridiculous ideas, but ultimately, the thing that actually goes to the market is going to be really a product of the engineers, um, with some constraints based on Elon's ridiculous ideas and some not so ridiculous ideas. Because again, I don't have the EDS, so I can't. It's not a struggle for me to think that something good can come from Elon Musk's company. But anyway, bottom line is the Cybertruck is done and being sold. I think they're making deliveries already, I believe. And it pretty much looks like the way that they had it before. And I don't see any major departure from what we were seeing before, which is what I was suspecting, that they were gonna like give up. I thought it was so ridiculous that they're gonna have to really abandon it and go a different course, but that's not the case. They made some minor changes to it. Um, the price is the biggest thing that was like, yeah, 40,000. Nah, son. That was the easy one, but generally speaking, I was wrong. The Cybertruck has been released, and from what I'm seeing, I still feel that in spite of everything I said about the safety testing on whatever, I still feel like we're gonna hear some real horror stories from this truck. Um, some people are gonna lose their lives. Let's say in a Honda Civic because they got T-boned by a Cybertruck. Some rich kid, gets his father's Cybertruck and is racing it or something. I mean, we hear these. This is the thing that happens, right? Lamborghinis, right? There's a young kid that killed someone in a Lamborghini. Couple kids that did that. So, and that's just a Lamborghini, which, I mean, those cars probably weighed like 3,500 pounds or something like that. Um, this is what, 6,000 pounds, a 6,000 pound truck that has like massive torque and 0 to 60 in like 2 point something seconds. It's shaped like a wedge. Um, yeah, I mean, listen, any large heavy vehicle is gonna do that. Pick any large heavy vehicle that's on the road right now, just commercial, just regular, trucks like F-150, F-250, whatever, 350, heavy duty, whatever. Any large vehicle is going to have a I don't know the word I'm looking for, like a death count. People are gonna die, right? If you're building a big heavy vehicle, people are gonna die. That vehicle is going to absolutely demolish other smaller vehicles. It's going to happen. However, here we have a vehicle that is significantly heavier than one of those than the average like big heavy vehicle. So it's much heavier. So the damage it can cause is much more significant. And then add to that the rapid acceleration and it's going to be bad. So again, it's not a thing that's just because of Elon did something crazy. No, any heavy vehicle is going to do this. But this vehicle, I guess what I'm getting at is it's more lethal. I think significantly more lethal than typical trucks, right? And when I say trucks, I'm not talking about 18 wheelers and stuff like that. I'm talking about typical trucks that regular people buy, in the retail market, non-commercial, typical big heavy trucks that a regular person would buy. The Tesla Cybertruck, to me, is is significantly more deadly um, than those vehicles. Just based on, again, the weight, the acceleration, the torque. You know, every type of vehicle, someone's gonna goof around in, someone's gonna be drunk in, someone's gonna be texting while they're driving, right? Every type of vehicle. So when you add to that a vehicle that's heavier, a vehicle that's faster, and all its factor, you're just making you're just gonna make things even worse. So unfortunately, we're gonna hear some horrific stories. Some family, some young kid, a mother and her kids, or some story. And it's not even like I'm just thinking negatively. Um, One of the reasons why it's gonna be such a sad story, like a bunch of kids in a car or a mother, like why is that? Because that's the best type of story for the media, right? So it's one thing if a Cybertruck like crashes and like there's just one guy driving and he dies. I mean, because Cybertruck is a hot topic, that will drive a little bit more traffic. But if you can get like some sad story where like three babies in the back seat or something, that is gonna be, I mean, so viral. So that's why that's the story that's coming, because those are the ones that are gonna draw the most traffic, and it's gonna happen. I'm sorry to say, but regardless, I was wrong. The Cybertruck is a thing, and I guess what I was kind of getting at is, I think it's kind of cool. I think it's kind of cool. I'm not really. The shape's kind of weird to me, um, but I don't have EDS, so I looked at some of the reviews, and there are more than a couple elements that I think are cool. I mean, of course, obviously the acceleration is cool. I mean, to have a truck that you can carry all that stuff and accelerates like a sports car, I mean, that's insane. Um, I don't know about the steering radius thing, because I saw a video. It was a marquee. The tech guy, did a video showing the it's got the rear wheel steering or something, and he showed a video, and I was like, it doesn't really seem like it's turning that much better. But I guess what's significant is that the full lock is like a half turn or something, which that's pretty cool. So none of this, rotate, slide your hand, rotate, slide your hand, none of that stuff. You do like a half turn or something, and that's full lock. So that right there is kind of cool. The acceleration is cool. I don't remember some of the other details that people were talking about. Um, so it's not a complete disaster. I can be man enough to admit that, and they actually delivered on it. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say. So I was wrong about Donald Trump and getting pulled from the ballot, and I was wrong about Elon Musk and his stupid Cybertruck. Even though Vosh did a video talking about a Cybertruck, the crash testing thing, and I was just like, yeah, you have no idea what you're talking about, and you just hating on Elon just to hate on Elon. See, when I talk about Elon and how he sucks and he's a savage and he's ridiculous, it's because that's the legit concern. He's doing some legit like craziness. It's not just because I hate Elon and anything he does. I see no. He does a lot of stuff I could critique. So there's always stuff for me to critique about him, but I'm not obsessed with Elon to where like I hate him, I can't stand his guts, and if his name is on something, it must suck. I don't have a lot of confidence in him. I don't have a lot of confidence in any, company that he's running. But I don't hate the guy. I don't know the guy. I'm not hating on the guy. Just like Trump, I don't hate Trump. I hate what Trump does. I hate what Trump represents. But Trump is just some random idiot, right? Some random idiot celebrity, former president. I don't really have feelings towards Trump. I have feelings about stuff he does and the impact of it and what it does to our country, sure. But Trump, who cares? Anyway, this is the Baby Channel, the Baby in the comment section below. Click on the like button, subscribe, smash that bell. Be well. Until next time. And I'm out.